What up, peoples? Yeah, I know y'all couldn't hear me. I wasn't on yet. I was trying to share everything first before I started. And the lighting in this thing is terrible. I definitely got to get some better. What up, peoples? But let me just finish sharing the stream real quick. Hope everybody had a good night. Gonna recap the make sure. And make sure y'all share the stream for me. I think that's it. All right. Make sure y'all share the stream. We're gonna recap team rankings. Talk about Lilburn. I practiced there today. Felt like, I mean, I feel like it's getting back to this old self, but I know the situation out there. I know what's going on. But what up, peoples? Check me out. I'm wearing my Mighty Ducks inspired. I don't know if anyone of y'all watched the Mighty Ducks when y'all was younger. This is my Mighty Ducks inspired jersey. Thinking about making it a UVA jersey. What do you think, Miss Jones? Remember that movie, The Mighty Ducks? Oops, my bad. Y'all remember that movie? The Mighty Ducks. But yeah. Good night. Let me say big shout out to Chris Logan. Yeah, I saw you on somebody's stream last night, Jamel. I need to holler at you about something. Hey, Jamel, text me real quick if you want to play softball tomorrow. My team is looking for extra body. Good group of guys. You have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, shout out to my boy Chris Logan. For those that don't know, Chris Logan was not missing, but he went to work. He got a new traveling job. Big shout out to him on his job. And he was out majority of the year. I got you. It's in Brookhaven. I think it's at. I'll text you in a second. Once I get off here, I'll call you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you once I get off here, Jamel. But yeah, shout out to Chris Logan. He shot 300. For those of you who don't know, Chris Logan, he got a new job that took him away for a while. I think he was gone damn near a year and a half almost, maybe even longer than a year and a half. So, oh no, man, it's the Mighty Ducks inspired, not Carl. Yeah, Carl Canali, I remember that. But it's the Mighty Ducks inspired. What up, Donnie? What up, Jade? How y'all doing? But yeah, we had to shout out to Chris Logan. He shot 300 in Decula tonight. That was big. He looked at he's getting back to his old self. For those of you know who remember Chris Logan, he was gone for about a year and a half. He got a new job that he was traveling a lot. Now he's back local now and can put some work back in. And he shot 300. That's big. Very happy to see him doing well. He was one of the CeeLo was one of the ones that used to take me around when we used to pot bowl, take my money. He used to, he gave me the game. He took me, it was me and Karan. We used to always go to different tournaments, different practice sessions. And Chris is one of those straight no chase, but he do it in a polite way. But that's my dog, They used to, when I first met them, they used to call me Captain Urethane because I bowled with urethane a lot because I didn't know. I just thought it was a bowling ball. I didn't know y'all called. I didn't know what a pearl was at the time. I didn't know what a solid. But yeah, Chris really welcomed me in an interesting way. But big shout out to him, man. I'm glad to see him back. Glad to see him doing well. Big shout out to him. Also want to say congratulations to G Town and High Caliber. We had the Team Rankings Qualifier. Let me pull that up. Let me see. The Team Ranking Qualifier was a lot of fun. I had a ball. My team had a ball. Shout out to, I just want to say, shout out to the teams that was in it, period. Regardless if you did well or not, shout out to you, because it was a tough weekend with it being rescheduled, with us because of the hurricane, and the people that's in Florida now. Be careful out there, man. Be smart. If you still got time to get away, get away. This thing is not looking good. So if you're out there in Florida, you're watching this, definitely make sure that y'all be safe out there. But because of the hurricane that hit, I guess, Georgia area, they had to reschedule it. So it was originally scheduled for the last weekend in September, and they had to really do a number. We was driving, and I don't know if you drove from Georgia out there. When you passed through Augusta, you looked on the side of that road, boy, it was you can really see the damage that was done out there in Augusta. I think Augusta had just got their lights back. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. So I have a cousin that stay out there. He's been kind of keeping me updated. So I know prayers to you if you're in Augusta. I know it's going to be a little bit before they, actually clean up out there. But because of the hurricane, they had to reschedule it. And when they rescheduled it, it was a little bit difficult, I know, because when you have to reschedule like that, it's tough, man. It's tough because I'm trying to pull up the schedule too, but this thing won't pull up. All right. But it's tough whenever you have to reschedule something like that, because a lot of teams had their teams. A lot of teams had some great teams. I know DSL, I believe they had 2 teams and they wasn't able to put a team in there, unfortunately. And I know it was tough, man. It was just tough, because even my team, man, big shout out. And I only could do this because I know my team. I don't know anybody else's situation. But we had a pretty decent squad. I want to say it was supposed to be Demetrius, Greg Black, Deontay, Stump, Levinus, and I believe JoJo. I believe. That was going to be our squad, and a lot of people had things to do. Biggest shout out to Deontay for fighting that storm with us out there. So we went out there Sunday. A lot of people went out there Saturday. We went out there Sunday. Big shout out to the team. My team that went out there, my scratch squad was Casey, Daniel Freeman, and I'm sorry, he is right now the hottest right-hander in Georgia right now, Don Jimenez. Don, them 3 was on our scratch, and then our handicap, we had Bethany Noel, Jacob Neese, and Deontay. Big shout out to Bethany, man. After that first game, she settled right in. I put Bethany on our qualifying team, and we had 2 teams that went out there. I put Bethany on our qualifying team. I didn't tell her she was on a qualifying team, but she after that first game, she got her feet wet. She got in there and she did her thing. Big shout out to you, Bethany. I was highly impressed. She got a first little taste of the UBA, and now she ready. She want to know when the next one, when I'm bowling again, what's the next event. So I love it. And then your boy Jacob. Jacob went out there and showed out. I want to apologize to Paradise Cartel because they were on a pair next to Jacob, and Jacob was a character, boy. Y'all already know how Jacob was, but Jacob, he put on the show. He bowled well. He put on the show. Jacob is made for the UBA. He is made for the UBA, and he did a great job. But Paradise Cartel was just sitting looking at that pair like this, like it was the TV show, like because that group, the way Jacob, energy, and if you would have seen them bowling, you would have never guessed that nobody on that team has ever bowled together. That's how well they bowled. And that's how much energy they had. I mean, you can hear them from one end to the other. That's how loud they were. They put on a show, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch because I didn't bowl worth a damn. I threw the ball well, just couldn't score to the end. But it was a great team ranking. So big shout out to G Town, as G Town they finished first. Followed by High Caliber. Big shout out to KC Turner with High Caliber. Third was the Outsiders. We did finish third. Congrats to those guys. Congrats to that team. Then we had Augusta Rain, tough team, great job at number 4, and Delia Daff at number 5. Finishing off the top 10. We had the Mob, Southern Asylum, Bufu, Bad Intentions, and Triple X, which is Triple X, followed by Complete Anarchy at 11. So it was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the other events that's going to happen. But yeah, the Team Rankings Qualifier now the tough. Got that out the way. Now the work begins. Because for those of you that don't know what the team qualifier is, it's 6 people. It's three scratch. Just like a tour stop, you get 1 pair on that scratch, and then the second pair is handicap, which is a 645 handicap. The 645. Man, that's 645. I like it. Because I understand it. I know why we have that cap, but that's a tough thing to put together, boy. That 645 cap is a tough thing to put together. So it was, but I mean, we made it work. I have a great group of officers that was able to construct a great group of guys that was able to build chemistry while they was there. I know a lot of bowlers like to bowl with people they're familiar with because of chemistry or whatever, but sometimes you got to build the chemistry, and that's what they did. So big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson shot 13 something for 5. I think he shot 798 for the first 3. So big shout out to Mike. That was killing numbers. God damn. 798 for 3. He finished 13 something. Dang. Yeah, those are killing numbers by Michael Johnson. I'm trying to think what else happened out there. Nothing much. Nothing really too much to report. It was just a fun event. But it was bowling, so we appreciate it. It was good to see the teams out there. Got to see Josh Jackson. Got to see Triple X for the first time. Got to see Complete Anarchy. Miss bowling with those guys. God damn, they said Michael Johnson averaged 261 for the day. That is crazy. 261 for the day. I got to see Paradise Cartel, Tri-City. My Tri-City Reaper Brothers was out there. Big shout out to them. We are 2 months away from It's Not TV. It's Dougie Vision, baby. So we about 2 months, December. I know I got my team ready. I'm gearing up. There's a lot of teams. That's gonna be an interesting week, and I'm really excited for that battle of the sexes. Um, but we but yeah, for a lot of people around the area, um, Lilburn is has been known for um Lilburn has been known for how easy of a house, so they say. Um, yeah, it's to me it's just a well kept house that does utilize oil. So I like Lilburn. I did try to get out of there this season. I think I'm bowling one league in there, but I did attempt to get out of there because I wanted to explore more houses. I wanted to play different house patterns. I didn't want to get really stuck at Lilburn because I love Lilburn. I love the staff there. Um, the staff have welcomed me and my kids. And anytime I need something, anytime I have a question, they always try to help find a way if they can. So I definitely appreciate it. So when I woke up the other morning and I saw Carlos's post, you can read it if you want. It's on my page. Carlos made a post expressing frustration about his job. For those of you who don't know and are unfamiliar, somebody actually went on the page on I think Bolero's review page. I don't know if it was Google, Yelp, or what it was, but they went on their page and they made a review about Carlos that wasn't so kind. Well, I ain't gonna say it wasn't so kind because your opinion is your opinion. It is what it is. I'm not gonna say it wasn't kind or just or due because um, y'all already know me. I'm not. I'm not one to tell nobody not to express themselves as much as I express myself. So I would never tell somebody not to express themselves. But I just thought it was just false. It wasn't true. I believe the comment that was made under the review is when there is trouble around, Carlos runs from it, or he avoids the conflict, or he avoids whenever there's a problem around. And if you know Carlos, that is far from the truth. I've known Carlos since I've been in Georgia, since I've been bowling in Georgia. So I don't. That is far from the truth. And Carlos reminds me of a Chick-fil-A employee. Like you're always gonna get the same polite, kind person, smile. I've seen people yell at him. I've seen people argue with him, and he never changes his tone of voice, never changes his demeanor. He's still kind, even when the situations where he doesn't even have to deal with. So you you hold that thought, Dougie, because he might be coming with us. We'll talk about that in a second. But he might be replacing Deontay, Dougie, because Deontay's moving to. We'll talk about that later, Deontay. But we got Terry. But we'll talk about that in a second. But Carlos is one of the ones that actually works very hard to kind of bridge that gap between corporate and league bowlers. And he tries his best to make that work. But what I want to make clear is the state that I was saying in my post. By all means, I'm not calling no one crybabies or they shouldn't complain about the shot or whatever, because I mean you have a right to. My thing is when we go after certain people and you go after the employees of the bowling alley, and it's not their responsibility. It's kind of like the government, and that's how I kind of look at corporate and Bolero. Like they want us to fight each other so we don't see what they're doing. And that's exactly what's happening. Let's just call a spade a spade. Whenever you have a machine, even this computer I'm on, I am still waiting for them to fix my computer. And we've been doing this show since January. Yeah, since January. And we're in October. And I still don't have my computer back. That's why I look terrible on your screen. But we all know that everything we already know that everything is man-made. So we know this computer is man-made, the oil machine is man-made. It has to be serviced and repaired. So whenever you are arguing with a manager about an oil machine that's broken, that's almost like arguing with McDonald's because your food, I don't know, I ain't gonna say McDonald's. It's like arguing with your car and taking your car to get the tire changed when you need a new muffler. Like the guys at the tire shop was like, yeah, it's part of a car, but this isn't the part of the car that we deal with. You got to take it to the muffler shop. So if you take your car to get the muffler fixed and they got to keep your car for a week, you're not going back and arguing with the guy you got the tires from. Like that doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing with the bowling alley. Like, yo, if you know the oil machine is broke and they're waiting on parts, why are we fussing at the employees? That's not their issue. What you need to do is focus your attention where you can actually get help from. And that is maybe Bolero Corporate. I don't know. I'm not saying it's them. Maybe it's trying to contact the Kegel, whoever makes the machine, and be like, yo, we ordered these parts. But if they ordered the parts, there's nothing they can do. Like Carlos said in his post, I can't reach out in the sky and grab parts to fix the machine. And please believe me, they want to fix the machine because they don't want all of y'all coming up to them every single day. Every single day. Every single day, every single league, they're getting complaints. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's not warranted, because if the shot is that bad, then maybe y'all need to go to your league officials and be like, hey, can we pause league until they fix this? Take a vote on it. Hey, we don't want to come back until they found the parts for the oil machine. Maybe then they can have, once the parts come, they can have time to fix the machine. But to sit there and continue to bowl and attack the employees over a broken machine, yes, I agree with you. Something has to get done. And that's why they ordered the parts, so that something can be done. Now, in the meantime, you got to think, we just had a hurricane. Not only that, the ports went on a little baby strike. So the port situation, not only that, everything's been screwed up since COVID. Ain't nothing coming in on time. They're behind on making things. That's why a lot of these cars are behind, because they don't have, and the cars are so high is because there's a part that they're still making, that they're behind on making the parts for these cars. So it's a number of issues that happen in this world why they don't get parts. They didn't order the parts from Amazon. There's no prime shipping when ordering these oil parts. So the reason we're attacking employees that don't even know how to fix this without the proper parts, or can't go around the corner, like let's show some grace. That's basically what I was saying. Show some grace. Like, yo, anything man-made has to be serviced and repaired. Your car breaks down, and sometimes your mechanic has to keep your car for a week. Everybody can't afford to get a rental. Then what are you going to do? You're going to keep yelling at your mechanic, and then you're going to take it somewhere else. We're going to take another week, and then you're going to take it somewhere else because they're taking a week. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So there's no need to be fussing and arguing with the Lilburn staff, because as far as I know, far as I know, when it comes to Boleros, Lilburn's staff is second to none. There's no better staff than Lilburn. Anytime we want something, anytime we need something, they're willing to work with us any way they can if we're willing to work with them. And that's all I'm saying. Direct the attention to the right person. Miss Sharon is great. I agree with you, Joan. Miss Sharon, Carlos, Chuck. They can't think the lady at the snack bar name, but they have been there since I've been going to Lilburn, and they have been great, and they have been very, very, very transparent with us throughout every situation. Pat, Mike, they've been the lane techs there for a while. There is nothing they can do. We have an old machine that we're using that we're borrowing, and it's never going to be perfect. And let's face it, with this situation that happened, we may be facing a new day in Lilburn. The old Lilburn that we know, as far as the shot, may be gone. I bowled there this morning. I didn't have a problem. I had to adjust, but it's nothing that I didn't have to already start doing with bowling in these different houses. I have to adjust or not bowl. That's cap. I'll put Donna Menez against you. Name the price, Dougie. But Lilburn days may be over. It may be a new day and maybe a new day in Lilburn. I hope not. I love the shot there, but it's a new day. So all this coming, I'm not saying don't fuss. I'm the last person to just tell you not to express yourself. But what I'm saying is the anger needs to be directed at the right people, especially when we have people in Boleros. We already know how corporate Bolero is. We don't have to go down the list and point out everything that they got. That we already know. They don't have nothing on the menu. They don't have anything water. Now they changed the cups. Like everything is going corporate. And we finally have a manager that knows how to bridge the gap where corporate could get what they want and the bowlers could get what they want. And if we start mistreating him and he decides to leave, then our bowling alley turns to Roswell. And the only reason why I mentioned Roswell, I used to bowl in Roswell before COVID. It was a pretty decent house. And then after COVID, they had a hard time getting employees to stay there. And they were rotating. They were trying, and they're still trying their best to get that center. And don't get me wrong, it's a clean center. It's a nice center. But I know they were having a little bit of trouble finding the right help in there. And then that's going to end up being Lilburn because you got to take care of the people who take care of you. That's at the end of the day. And Carlos, Miss Sharon, Chuck, the good folks over there at Lilburn, they always take care of us as bowlers. When at the end of the day, anything we need, they still sit right there and listen to you. So to go online and go on that corporate page and write a complaint over a broken oil machine that nobody in that building can just drive, walk, or buy a part from, that it has to be shipped, that there's nothing they can do. That is not a Bolero employee, the Lilburn thing. You can contact corporate. Maybe corporate could contact Kegel, and then Kegel could maybe expedite some. There's other attacking them is not the answer. It's not. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I hear it's been bad. I understand that. But you got two options. You either bowl or you don't bowl. And if it's that bad, don't bowl until they fix it. That's what I suggest. Like, yo, call a league meeting. Let's vote on this. Let's put the league on pause until they fix this issue. That's simple. Like, yo, to be writing reviews on management in there, and we lose Carlos, we lose Miss Sharon, and then somebody else get in there who don't know how to do what they them guys have been doing, that don't know how to talk to us, that don't know how to work with us. Because yo, I go to Lilburn, I have no problems using my free games. I have no problems. I go anywhere else, man. You only got this many games. You're like, dude, I know I got 6 games. How you can't see it, but everybody else can? I don't know. Like me and Nick Reed went to Delco Road one Sunday to practice. I was telling the dude, I'm like, yo, I know I got 6 games. Like I'm in this league, like I'm in 3 leagues, I'm in 2 leagues, one of them being a practice. I know I got the 6 games. I haven't been here all week. No, you don't. You only got 2. I'm like, dude. So I didn't argue with him. I paid for the rest of the games. I go back to Lilburn the next day. Now Sundays, your league games, for those of you who don't know, on Sundays, your free practice game starts over. So it's already Sunday. I'm like, yo, somebody would have had to be here 2 hours ago to steal my games if that was the case. But no, but whenever I go to Lilburn, or I know people that go to Lilburn, they don't never have a problem like that. Because some people, they know what they've been there for a while. They know what they're doing. And I'm not saying the other centers don't, but they just, to me, they just don't have some of them don't have the longevity as them. I know Austell staff is pretty. I think they've been there for a while, and I don't have a problem with Austell staff neither. There's another one, but you got it. Like us as bowlers, with this corporations taking everything, we have to utilize our allies while we can. And trust me when I say the people at Lilburn, the employees at Lilburn are our allies. They are willing to work with you. They are willing to get this whatever situation you have, they're able to get it right with time, and they're very transparent. So my message was not to complain. That's not. I just wanted to make sure that I got that understood. Like I'm the last person to tell you not to complain about something, as much as I express myself. But yo, we have to utilize our allies while we can, and that's like yo, with Carlos and everyone there, they're definitely our allies when it comes to bridging the gap between Bolero and league bowlers, because we already know they don't care about league bowlers. They don't. I see it all the time on forums. People, they put league bowlers right next to open bowlers, and I've seen people say, "Hey, why do you have open bowlers next to us?" And they say the league don't pay for a buffer. The league didn't pay for that lane. They did. Yeah. So it's like, yo, you have to utilize your staff. Now, don't I mean your allies in bowling, especially right now with all the Boleros in Georgia. We got so many of them, and we only really have two houses that cater to bowlers that I know of, and that is Forest Park and Southern Lanes. That's outside of Bolero. I don't know about the other bowling alleys. I haven't been there much. I heard stories about Fayetteville. Haven't heard too much about McDonough's. I haven't heard too much about Newton. Um, but as far as stars and strikes, y'all already know. You can forget that. You can forget that. Stars and strikes. That is hilarious. Um, but um, but yeah. So, but I don't want to pound on that subject too much longer. But I am going to get back up here. What's today? Tuesday. I'm gonna get back up here Friday. I'm gonna do my predictions. Yeah, like I said, I heard a lot about Fayetteville. I'm not going to really. I'm not out there too much, so I'm not going to blast them. I'm gonna let somebody else do that. Like I said, I haven't really heard much from them. Um, I haven't been out there. I want to bowl in Fayetteville. I want to bowl out in Fayetteville. The lanes look nice. It looks like they actually keep up with the lanes too. But I did hear some things about Fayetteville, and I wasn't there and don't know too much about that situation, so I'm not really going to speak on that. But yeah. So, but just going forward, but yeah, shout out to everybody who did get into the team rankings. I think team rankings is going to be fun. I think one of the matchups that I am going to be watching, keeping a close eye on, as far as team rankings, is Bad Intentions versus Bufu. Um, Bufu is a great team. They're just blinded by their owner. Um, the drama that occurs that just be occurring around him, I think it distracts from the actual team. The team did well last year. They were in first place up until the second to the last stop. Um, they came to a tour stop with 7 people um, and ended up in with a 2020 tie. So I don't know if that shows how talented that team actually is when they are focused on bowling, or just how bad Complete Anarchy was. I don't know. But I know one thing. Let me pull this up. I know they bowled in the qualifier, and when they bowled, and I'm just talking about for day two. Let me pull the numbers up. So on day two, the Outsiders was up by 200 and hold up. The Outsiders what? Hold on. Oh, what the hell? Hold on. The Outsiders was up by 165 pins after game one. After game two, was this game two? Yep. After game two, the Outsiders were still up. No, they were up by 213 points after two. Then after three, Bufu went from Bufu went from fifth place to second place, only behind the Outsiders by 130. So they started climbing a gap, filling in a gap. And then after five, well, yeah, it was about a 200 pin. So after the first night, the second day, they went from fifth. So when they're bowling, they're not a bad team. But I'm looking forward to that team because that's really, y'all know I've been up here saying, wait till y'all face the North Carolina team, wait till y'all face the South Carolina team. Been trying to prepare y'all for that. And Bad Intentions is going to be the first one to actually get a taste out of the new teams from North and South Carolina. Full Throttle last year did team rankings, so they're familiar. And then they also have an experienced owner in Joan who's been around, and a couple of other people who was around last year that did bowl before on that caliber. But It's going to be that's going to be a fun one. I hope that they're recording. Um, I don't know if they've been in talks yet on where that match is going to be. Um, Let me see. Blue Fool's out of Columbia. Oh, probably going to be. It might be Augusta. I think, yeah, it might be Augusta where that mutual match is going to be. But it's going to be a fun one. They're going to get their first taste, and I think after that match, normally when you have matches like that where you're facing a loud team, when you're facing a team of experience that the experience and the lack of experience really shows. For example, y'all know I always talk about us versus Complete Anarchy with that match. Even though that match happened in our second year at Anchor Lanes, it really showed our inexperience. And then after that match, going into the future, we kind of took off. So those are the learning experiences that happens. Because I always say a lot of people say it in bowling, it's never losses. It's always lessons. So once you learn your lessons, Michaela said she'll be streaming, so I definitely please let us know when that match will be, Michaela, because I definitely want to see how that match turns out. Um, yeah, that a lot of lessons be learned in a lot of the losses. Even the lessons that we took from losing to the ones. I know a lot of people are getting on us about losing it, but it's just another day in the office. Um, most new teams or whatever, you probably dwelling on losses. We're not. We lost. We moved on. We got Critical Role at Austell. We got DSL at Lilburn, and then we got a position round. So we got a issue. We know what happened. We saw what happened. Make your spares. We win those games. Easy, simple. We don't make spares, and we lost. Simple. We had a great team out. If I had to do it again, I would put that same team out there. But next time we face them, it won't be in Forest Park, or it might be if it's next year. We'll see. We may face them in a position round, be a whole different story, or the same if you don't learn your proper way. But lessons has to be. You have to learn a lesson in this, and I think every team can think of one situation where they lost the match, and it definitely taught them a valuable lesson. But we are definitely, looking forward to that match. I can't wait because don't get me wrong. I think watching their stream, one thing that Bad Intentions do not lack, and that's in team camaraderie. They travel together, they support each other, and when they figure it out with the way that they're traveling and the way that they're running together, they're going to be dangerous. But that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not giving no advice. But yeah, that's all I'll say. Once they figure it out, it's going to be. They're going to be a team, just because they can will themselves to a win. I know what that's like. We've done a lot of that. We've done a lot of that willing themselves to win. So Bad Intentions, they are going to be they're going to be a decent they're going to be a decent they're going to be a decent team because the hardest thing to me, I think, is to build that camaraderie. Because a lot of people don't want to travel with you. A lot of people, if they're not bowling, they don't give a damn. And it's a bad attitude to have. I see it all the time. I see it with y'all scores. Like a lot of y'all not team oriented. A lot of y'all wondering why y'all don't get picked on, or you haven't bowled, or why another team hasn't, or I'm telling you now. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be straight up with you. If you had to ask to be on the UBA team, Unless you moved here, that's different. Unless you moved here from a UBA team, I'm not talking about that. But if you had to ask to be on a little, that's it's not you. You're not you're not that. You got some work to do. Um, but if you were picked to be on the UBA team, um, and you're just worried about yourself, like even after the first stop, all I thought was, hey, I shot this, I shot this, I shot that. I ain't see what the team did or nothing. And don't try to put it in their status and that. Don't be fake because that's just you. But as the owners, we look at that. Like I keep telling y'all, as owners, we talk. A lot of owners talk on a daily basis, and just, we swap stories. So if you think you telling one owner something and it's not getting back to us, cat's out the bag now. But yeah, you a lot of people are just selfish, and you're not a team oriented. Like once you get that through your mind, and bad intentions got it quick. Like they was like, yo, we got to build this camaraderie. And if like to me, that's the hardest part to do. To get people to come to tour stops that's not bowling. That is the hardest period, and they show up with numbers, and that is great. They're on a great track with that. Now they just got to figure out the bowling part, and they'll be all right. But who else? But yeah, a little disappointed that I didn't see the Southern Statistics in there. I think Alex did say the ones we're going to do team rankings, but I think team rankings is a great way to develop your team because that cap is real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if one thing about that EK too is accountability. It's a lot of accountability lacking in Georgia. It's a lot. Um, if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and be like, "Yo, I'm not there yet," there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that 645 ain't no joke. Like there's nothing wrong with looking yourself in the mirror and be like, "Yo, I need a little bit more time." Like I like my team knows. I tell my team all the time. They be like, "Yo, you want? What about you? Can you bowl?" Like, not my scores. Not. I'm not where I wanted to be, especially with the changes that I had to make in my game and stuff and work on it. And no, like I'm just now. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like I told y'all the last episode, I told y'all said I was supposed to bowl the Lilburn stop, and that got taken away from me. And we're two stops away, and I've been bowling so bad that they took. I ain't gonna say they, but there was a mutual understanding that I would not be bowling, and then I have no date on when I'm bowling a tour stop. I can bowl events, like you got the events to work out, like and all of that, like that's different. But team rankings, unless we really need me, I'm like, yo, I'm the backup plan. I'm the backup of the backup plan. And a lot of y'all need to have that conversation with yourselves. And it's because it's not just about bowling. Yes, we all can bowl, all of us, everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody has bowled a 279. Everybody has bowled at least a 250. Everybody has bowled at least a 240. But have you done it consistently enough? Can you do it under that pressure? Can you be put in a situation where everybody is striking around you and you have to figure out where to if you're what's the line? Can you take advice? Can you be like, hey, I only bowled with him twice, but he's looking at the way I bowl and I'm hurting the team? Can you say, hey, I don't got it today, come sub me out? Like, yo, like it's those real talks that you have to have to yourself, and it will make you a better bowler. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting out here doing these tournaments. Hey, if that's the way you Some people get better. Those pressure situations, that's the best way to practice for UBA is getting into these tournaments. And a lot of us do that. But we have to stop getting into tournaments to socialize. Like a lot of us is nah, nah, Jamel, your ass is getting in there soon. Don't but like a lot of us come to these tournaments to socialize and have no focus. Like I was guilty of it. I'll come out to the tournament, we pre-gaming. I done smoked about 3 blunts, and I got 3 head pins. I was like, whoa, I don't need to smoke before a tournament no more. Like, you really have to have some of those realization talks, because it is, and trust me, like I'm not saying that you can't do it or that you shouldn't do it. I'm saying you need to work harder to get there. Like if you're not worrying about the performance for your team that you're putting out together, you don't need to be out there. Everybody can show up and bowl. Everybody can show up and get lucky. Everybody can show up and do one good game. And like y'all and my team know I hate this. I hate the 170, 240, 190, and then you like or 150, 279, 190, and you're like, I shot 300, I shot 600. Yeah, but your team lost 2 games. Your team lost 2 games out of those, and you're like, I shot 600, I did well. But what about your team? Like a lot of y'all aren't on y'all are too focused on yourselves and not enough on the team. And that's why I give Bad Intentions as a new team their props, because they remind me of us when we first started. They really do, because I'm running into Bad Intentions. I was there Sunday at Austell. I wasn't even bowling. I was just walking past, and somebody was like, Bad Intentions. They look at me, Bad Intentions. We ready. And then I forgot her name. I think Sierra was sitting there. She looked at me like, what, say something. And then somebody was behind me. Somebody was on the side of me. And they looked. I was like, look, man, I don't want no smoke. I just came to watch. I just came to have a good time. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no, like, and they band together like that. And that's what you want out of your team. You want your team to band together. And I give What's Her Face their utmost props. I understand why Southern Asylum and Bad Intentions clash, because like I said, Bad Intentions remind me of a lot of our old when we first joined the league. We were loud, we were supportive, we was traveling, and that was it, man. That chemistry amongst the team is going to lead them. That chemistry is going to lead them to a lot of victories where their bowling is just mediocre. And I'm not saying that as disrespect, because we did that our first year. Our first year, we skated by a lot of teams thinking we were doing something. But no, we was just loud. We were new. We wasn't scared because we didn't know no better. And a lot of teams slept on us until they couldn't no more. So we skated away. And trust me, my team, when we first started, ain't nowhere near the team that I was able to build now. Like I'm trying to think. I think, and this is no disrespect because you already know he's an awesome bowler. I think Trey and Dana was our best 2 bowlers. And we were just shoot, that third scratch guy was just a shaking the dice. Like, who gonna do it? Then we met the South Carolina boys, and that helped us out a lot. But we like, and now they're Tri City. So, like, you're doing a great job, Bad Intentions. And we know we talk about we talk about these teams a lot. But when it comes to the chemistry department, when it comes to the supportive, when it comes to being an actual team, they got it. They got it. As far as the new teams, they figured that part out. So, big ups to them. But yeah, that's about it. I know a lot of people was talking about this Knicks trade. I don't even want to get into that for real. This Knicks trade was horrible. And it wasn't horrible in the sense of I think we lost the deal, lost out. But it's tough losing somebody who helped you build something. And Julius Randle built the culture that's in New York right now. That was off of his back. So to see him get traded, that did hurt. When you look at Julius and Cat, to me, it's really the same person, for real. They're the same type of player. They're both going to get you 20 and 10. Julius is just going to work harder for his 20 and 10 because Cat is a natural talent. He's taller. He can shoot over a lot of people, so he doesn't have to work as hard as Julius. So I still think we will be a good team. But it's just like a player like Julius, man. When you get behind somebody like that, or somebody like that helps you build the culture, it's tough to see them leave. It really is. It really is. But I ain't gonna hold y'all long tonight. It's already midnight. I will be back to do my tour stop recap. If I'm not mistaken, I need to make sure with my team. Let me look at this schedule. We bowl at Austell at noon. Yeah, I thought it was. We bowl at noon. Tariq, I know you just joined. Make sure they know that we bowl at noon. Yeah, I know normally it's at 1 o'clock. But I appreciate that, JR. But yeah, I'm gonna be back to give my recap. I know it's October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I know I didn't do one last month, but I do want to do a mental health show this month. I had to get with Mr. Jabari. I'm praying. I know he was taking a social media break, but I want to get back. I want to do at least one mental health show a week. I mean, a month. I'm sorry, one mental health show a month. Mental health is very, very important to me, being a veteran. I am a 100% disabled vet, and it is tough. And it's tough for veterans because I'm gonna be honest with you, it do feel like no one cares about the veterans once they're veterans. We get everything when we're enlisted, but as soon as we get hurt, as soon as they can't use us no more, as soon as they retire, it's like all those benefits are gone. and when I say benefits, I mean like people caring. We get the thank you for our service, but EK, I don't know if you can relate to this, but it's almost cringing when you hear that. Yeah, I would love to get D-Mac on the show. A couple of people, like I said, anybody who want to come on the show, come on. Just shoot me a message. I'll shoot you a link. We can get up here and talk. Shoot the shit. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate the community because I get stopped by a lot of people asking me about the show. I got something big coming. I got to get with some people. I'm not announcing it yet, but what I will say is there's a flyer that just went out, and I definitely he said EK said yeah. Yeah, when every time, like a lot of people go, "Oh, thank you for your service." It's just like I don't even know what to say after that. Just thank you. I mean, you're welcome. Like it's I, And I am one that was I did deploy, but it was even to hear that still like thank you for your service. It was if y'all only knew what half the people joined the military for, y'all wouldn't be thinking. It's another subject, but got something big in the work. There's a flyer that just came out. Um, I'm going to get more details. I'm going to be working out the details, but I am going to be trying to put together a live show where we will be asking for people to come to attendance. It will be a panel style. Um, I'm just trying to lock up some bowlers. I want to, I am really excited. So I'm really going to be trying my best to put this together. I think a panel bowling show will be great because I know there's a couple of people who have been out there that's been really trying to push. I know Tyrone, like he's been getting on me because he really wants me to push our generation to start going to these scratch tournaments. And I know a lot of us are scared, but I do understand what he's saying because a lot of these scratch tournaments will teach you things that league can't teach you. And I am going to be going to my first scratch tournament. No, it's not my first scratch tournament. I'm going to be going to a scratch tournament. Somebody, I'm going to be going to the Rodman. I'm going to be going. So here's my thing with the Rock. I've been trying to get to Louisiana. I mean, I've been trying to get to New Orleans for a while. I actually used to live in Louisiana. I used to live in Midland, Louisiana. It was about an hour and a half away from Shreveport when I got out when I was in the military. It was a little small town, but I've been trying to go to New Orleans for a while, and I just didn't want to go to New Orleans for bowling. I wanted to go to New Orleans something else, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to. But I'm gonna be going to the Rodman. I'm looking forward to it. I suggest, we try to. I really think we can. That's not true, Butch. I got you. I got a Butch. Hit my inbox. I got a free lawyer for you. Hit my inbox. She's great. Tell her I sent you. She helped me and everything. I got you, man. We can plan that because yeah, let's get the. I know a couple of them this weekend. That's why I think they're in Louisiana this weekend. That's why a couple of people couldn't make the team rankings qualify. And a couple of teams had to back out. But I think next weekend they got the nightmare doubles. I forgot where that's at. But I will also say this to those bowlers that do go to these scratch tournaments. When you hear about them, if you can post them on Facebook, let some of us know. I don't hear about them until sometimes y'all get ready to go. Been hearing about the Rodman. I heard about the Bradley, Terrence Bright. I know about a lot of these tournaments. Nightmare Doubles is in Memphis. Okay. Andy B's. I bowled well there. Or I think, Andy B's got brought out by Bolero up there. But they put seasoning on their chicken sandwich in that Bolero. That chicken sandwich was good, Memphis. But I think I talked a lot of tournaments I know because I talked to Terrence and I asked Terrence Bright. I'd be like, "Hey man, where you going this weekend? Or what's your next tournament? Or where you going? Or I normally able to catch him at the pro shop. Y'all know I hang out in the pro shop, and he'll be working on his stuff, and then we'll just get to talking." But I will say this about Terrence Bright. Same thing everybody knows about Tyrone, and Tyrone will talk to you and teach you a lot if you talk to him. But Terrence Bright also, man, I've gotten some great gems from Terrence Bright. And a lot of these bowlers, if you just ask questions, like I ask questions. I see you doing something, I ask questions. And Terrence Bright, he gives great information along with Tyrone. Stevens. So like, don't be scared to talk to him. Let's not be scared to get into these scratch tournaments. Let's try to take that over and really, really, really get our game to the next level. Because I do want to see the state do well. I do want to see our community do well. And the outsiders is just tired of beating up on y'all. So we want a challenge. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm just playing seriously, but I'm just playing. But yeah, we really want to push everything forward. And I hope we did get an understanding tonight of Lilburn. Like I said, we want to use the allies while we can because Carlos has done great things for me. He's helped me. Let me tell you, just to give y'all an example of how good Carlos is for the bowling community. All of my tournaments started 3 hours earlier than what the center. I'm not bowling Saturday. I gotta work all day. I'll be there Sunday though. But Carlos, my tournaments used to start around I think 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. The bowling center didn't open until 11 on some of those days when we did it on Sundays. And then when it did open at 9 and we did some of them on Saturday, we had to share it with the youth bowlers, which was never a problem. Like Carlos and Joe would always, and Andrew, the lane tech, would always come in 3 to 4 hours early to get everything, to get the fryers open so y'all can have food, and all of that. Like, so, and all of that was open well early to prepare. And then they had to stay there most of the day for, the open bowlers that would come in over the weekend. And they would stay and handle that while still coming into work 4 hours early to prepare for a tournament. And I don't know if you heard, but a lot of people was asking Alex Jordan's team, the Ones, is putting a tournament on Saturday at Austell. He's doing a doubles tournament at Southern Lanes. Let me pull up the flyer for that to let you know what time that is. That is I didn't know it was that late. I didn't realize it was that late. So Alex tournament is check-in is at 6. Practice starts at 7:15 p.m. on Saturday. So he tried to do it at there's a lot of tournaments going on tomorrow. This weekend. But he tried to do it at Austell. Austell would not give him the time, so he had to move it to Southern Lanes. But Carlos never did that to us. Like, he never told us no. As long as the date was available at the time, Carlos would be like, I'll be here early, or Joe would be here early, and we're gonna get it done. And they looked out graciously for us. So a lot of those tournaments to give us extra stuff. We need more tournaments out here because Ty is a tournament guy. He loves to bowl tournaments. He loves to put together tournaments. And sometimes it's not always fair to him that nobody else supports other tournaments in this area so he can go to those too. But we don't think about stuff like that. We're too fucking selfish. But I don't want to get into that right now. But y'all have a good night. But yeah, go support Ty Tillery's. Also, he has the bowling for the Tatas tournament, I think, another edition of it. At Southern Lanes, Saturday at 12 p.m., bowl at 1 p.m. Check-in is at 12 p.m., bowl at 1 p.m. Bowlers will bowl 4 games, skipping a pair to the right. Each game, top 5 scores will advance to a Baker step ladder. This is the doubles. I'm sorry. There's 2 doubles tournaments at what's the face? It's 90% of 210. So that's what he has coming up. Let me see. And that is it. Yeah, that's all for this weekend. So yeah, so be on the lookout for those. So we will be back on Friday. So talk to y'all then. Peace.